Here we are at Clermont-Ferrand, the Charade circuit about to start the 1965 French Grand Prix, which is, in my opinion, the greatest French GP that ever was. As the Lotus in front bogs down off the line, we get a pretty good getaway. Not good enough to get up on the Ferrari, but pretty good. So coming through the first corner for the first time of 5. Luke Scarfiotti on the right, getting real close to me, don't like to see it. Getting past Jackie Stewart on the right as well for good measure as we come up to Mansion corner for the first time. Also, BRM in front. So, no, not BRM, sorry, Cooper up in front. Seems to be a bit out of position. See if we can get him. Got the radar on for good measure just because the last race I felt like you couldn't really see what was going on too much. So, coming through the village of Charade for the first time. It's down to the left there. Sort of golf corner here. AI like to go really wide there and crash sometimes. It's taken me a while to film this race, but it's been fun driving while I have. Down to third, down to second, and whoa! Jackie Stewart comes out of absolutely nowhere and just sends it. Nice overtake. I did not see that coming. Left me hanging like nothing. As there is a car off the side of the course there. I don't know who that was, but I don't think they're coming back. Touch wheels with Jackie Stewart, who actually finished third here in real life. I don't think he'd be finishing third if we did that in real life. Come through the Twins for the first time. It's a set of corners called the Twins. That's something in French that I can't pronounce, but it's basically named after the fact that this corner and the one before it look exactly the same if you take a photo of them and put them side by side. It is like identical. This is definitely the hardest part of the track and is reminiscent of the third sector in the Nürburgring. It's definitely like all the corners look the same and it's very easy to get out of shape here, so got to remember where you are at all points. As we come on to the straight, or not really a straight, the back half, Grave Noir I think this is called. Got a volcano around on the right which you literally would drive around. And in the 1972 race it not erupted, but it was active and would kick up dust during the race and rocks and send them down onto the racing line. And that's how Helmut Marko lost his left eye. Car in front kicked up a rock and it went through his visor, which I didn't know. It's a nice little interesting piece of history about this track. Only ran 4 Grand Prix as well as we get up alongside Jackie Stewart and go for it. A bit slow in his BRM. Only raced 4 Grand Prix. I think it was 1965, 1969, 70 and 72. So, underutilised track. Still races to this day, but it's more of a learning circuit than anything. As we come into Farm Bend for the first time. This is a part that I really struggle with. I can just never seem to get the grip down here. But, should be up into about P4 now, so looking okay for the race. Definitely a hard track to drive and not easy to do lap after lap after lap consistently. Coming into La Petite Pond for the first time, small pond. This is a area where majority of the photos were taken, as it's a very picturesque bit of part of the track. You can see the start finish line from it, and it's just all the photos look really really nice from there. You can also see the elevation massively when you're there. It's definitely an up down track, reminiscent of the Nordeschleife. As we come into Thebes for the first time, so another village off to the left up there, and back down, heading towards the start finish line to complete the first lap. We're getting a run on the Cooper for good measure as well as we come into the last corner. I think this is called Rose Bend, and getting a nice little run on the BRM, just mis-shifting a little bit. Second, and leave it in second. Across the start finish line to finish the first lap. Only 4 more to go. So I've got Lario in front, unsure who that is. I'm pretty sure all of these skins are just random names that they've pulled from a hat, so they can be fake drivers, but we'll pretend it's real. And we'll come up to Mansion for the second time. This is a part of the track I often struggle with. I will either brake too late or downshift too late, or just often everything's too late and I end up in the wall there. But would have been a cool spot for photographers to stand by and definitely see the cars fly past, very very fast. coming down towards Belvedere, the hairpin. Lookout is what that means, if anyone didn't know. I think it's Italian, not French though, which is weird. But this is Belvedere here, so great little lookout over the rest over to the left there, and where that car definitely will be looking from earlier. As we go for it on the Cooper, but not making it stick. We'll have to try again. Coming into the second twin. So this is the first twin here, so this is the first part, and then you have this little in section here where they link up, and this is the second twin here. So those are the two corners that are named, and they like are identical if you put them together. It's quite crazy. But making sure I'm not shifting while coming into that little kink there, I will lose it. All the practice I did, I will always lost it shifting from second to first there, as my computer goes a little bit laggy. And the BRM does too, obviously, and goes off. Getting a massive run on him now, coming into Grave Noir. Into Volcano, can I make it stick? He's going to hang around and crash into the wall for good measure. We'll let him have it. Not running damage as per usual, just because it's just easier, especially with Seto Causer AI. You never know what is going to happen with these guys, so it's just easier to run no damage. But we'll keep pushing on up the hill, coming up towards Champeau, the village of, and see if we can get a run on him at all. It's got to be one of my favourite circuits to drive. It's just, especially with these old 60s, early 60s cars that are low horsepower, you know, they're only 1.5 litres. Couple of years before the introduction of the 3 litres. It's perfect amount of grip versus power versus weight. Just, you dance the car around every corner, and you really struggle to do it. I think if you put them on something like the Nordeschleife, where it's a little bit longer, it becomes a little bit harder. Well, a lot harder, but it's not as rewarding. This track just seems to gel with them perfectly. As we'll come down to La Petite Pont once more. Also the Michelin corner, I think it is nowadays. And up onto the Marlborough hairpin, where I am using a lot more track than they are, thanks to whoever made the track AI. Because I am taking a lot more track, but it doesn't matter. We'll press on. And we'll head up towards Thebes and see if I can make a little move on him here. I've noticed they like to go really wide, and I like to go really narrow here, so we might be able to make a move in the future. As he goes quite wide coming into the left-hander after Thebes, I might be able to get a switch back here, and I'm going to get alongside. Will I make the move stick? No, not quite. No, just outbrakes me just a touch. We'll get a run on him, see if we can do him into the first corner. So 3:55. Very respectable lap time for these cars. In real life they were doing 3:18s. This mod, it's either the mod car or the mod track is incorrect, I can't tell. As we get a massive run on him, hitting all the gears correctly, and we should be able to get him into mansion here, but he's just going to brake later than us. Hopefully he's broke too late, and I might be able to get the cut back on him, but it's not going to look like it. Oh, not yet anyway. Go up to third gear. Come through the village of Charade. I should be able to get him into here because he's got nowhere to go. So let's see what happens. Still brakes later. So not able to do it on that run either, but we'll press on down towards Belvedere. Probably my favourite part of the circuit here. You can just full throttle if you really want to and brake as late as possible. Use all the track and then brake in a straight line down for the hairpin here at Belvedere. And then cut back as soon as you can, get back on the throttle, line yourself up nicely for the twins, which we have done. Can I get him around the outside? Not quite. He's going to have the line. Pull back and try to launch an assault down at Grave Noir, because you do not want to be launching an assault around this part of the track. It is like, this is the part, I think it's the track mesh as well, but this is the part of the track where I have had all my accidents. The track mesh is very bouncy, as you can see, both wheels bouncing up and down constantly pretty much, and you just brake and the car goes around. It's really quite tricky. So I don't think the mods on either side are completely finished, but it is definitely good enough to have a race on. As we come down towards Grave Noir once more, and I think I'm going to get him here. I won't make the same mistake twice. Brake later and just use all the inside, force him out wide as possible, and I've got the move done. As we head up the hill towards the second half of the track, let's see if I can make some moves on the car ahead, which I believe is Jack Brabham, but unsure. I won't be able to tell until I get a little bit closer. But I think I saw Jack Brabham at the start, so see if we can press forward. I'm definitely faster here when I don't have any cars to deal with. I can take the line how I want to, and it's just car versus track. It's a lot easier. So we'll downshift to third just after here. Use all the track out here. Well, not all the track, but just as much of that as you can. Leave it in third for as long as possible, and then braking down to second just after the kink, and straight line braking into Farm Bend. So this is where the real circuit in real life continues from now. That's pretty much where that links back up from the start finish line. Coming down to Le Petit Pont once more, and we're starting to see more of that car in front, so it definitely looks like we're catching. I don't know whether it'll be enough, but I think it will. 2 laps to go, locking up a little bit into Le Petit Pont, and coming up to Marlborough once more. I'm definitely going to gain some ground on him here because I know that I use more track than they do, but not using too much more this lap. I'm getting a little bit out of shape into the pond hairpin. It's cost me that. Coming left hand up the hill towards Thebes. I'm starting to see more of that car by the second. As we come through the second left of Thebes, getting nice and sideways, heading on towards the main straight once more, or the hairpin before the main straight. Definitely seen more of that car. Let's find out which car. It's definitely a Brabham. Is it Jack though? Let's push up onto the start finish line, see what lap time we did. Lap time of 3:53.4, which is actually very quick, and it is Jack Brabham in front, so definitely pulling him in. I don't know who's in front of him, but he's looks like he's checked out because I can't see a car in front of him, so we should be able to get Jack and then push on home for the rest of the race. Coming to Mansion once more, getting it nice and tight. That photographer there on the right really must have some cool shots. Man, just amazing to think that you could just go to these circuits and just stand out in the fields, and just insane to me. I come through Charade once more and down the hill towards Belvedere. Jack running a bit wide there. That's going to give me an opportunity coming down the hill if he doesn't do anything crazy. Down to third, down to second. Let's see if I can close in the back of him through Belvedere, and just pulling him in a little bit. Not enough, but just a little bit. As we'll keep going forward anyway. Right on his gearbox now. Can I make the move stick into the first? Looks like I can. Maybe just holding it around the outside. But he's going to have the inside line for the first of the twins, so I'm not going to try him there. That's pressing my luck. I don't have that much grip. That Assetto Corsa AI kicking in strong, but fair play, held it around the outside. Come through the second twins and down towards the hairpin before Grave Noir. So always struggle with this part as Jack Brabham just flies through there. Thought I had a run on him, but it doesn't look like it. So come onto the straight of Grave Noir, the volcano off there in the distance. Just insane to think that they used to race around a volcano. I mean, like, that's just insane. This era of racing, just every single time I learn a new little bit of trivia or a fact or whatever, I get massively sideways there. I'm always so impressed. I'm just like, wow. Impressed is one word, but then is it also brave or stupid? You know, there's so many things that you think of. But hey, that's why we do it from the comfort of our own home and the comfort of our own sim rigs. Thank God we can. Come on to the back half of the straight, and we are reeling in Jack Brabham pretty quick. I should be able to get him in before the farm bend. I think I'm going to get him, just backing off here. Let him do it for me as I go down to third. Coming through this double right once more and down towards farm bend. I'll see if I can outbrake him into the hairpin. I don't think I will be able to, but we can try. So he goes very wide there. That's going to let me gain some time on him. Should do it. But I've also broken too late, so not going to make the move stick there. Come down the pond corner once more and see what we can do on the way there. So shift up through the gears in third, up to fourth briefly, and then picking our braking marker just after the people on the right there. Down to third, down to second. Really tricky braking zone, this one. I always seem to lock up. But we'll come up to Marlborough once more and try and use as much of the track as we can. Maybe just cheat a little bit. Which we have. We have used all of the track and some more. Still within the white line, so it still would have been counted. I don't know why the AI line is that like that through there. But braking for up to Thebes. And see if we can get anything done into these final couple of corners before the start-finish line. He's gone extremely wide, and we have not utilised it at all. But that's fine. We've still got one more lap to do it. As the leader crosses the start-finish line now, we are on the final lap, next lap. So P3 at the moment, P2 hauntingly close, but we definitely are quicker than him with a lap time of a 3:54.1. That's a pretty fast lap for race pace. Let's see what we can do coming up towards Mansion, if we can make a press down the straight at all. Up to third, up to fourth, and doesn't look like we've got anything left in the tank for the start. But two cars retiring up top, Jackie Stewart, and there was another car that I missed. I think it was Denny Horn. Both have retired, so been an accident somewhere. As we'll come into Charade for the final time and press down the hill towards Belvedere. Will he make this corner this time? This is the one they always crash on. He's made it, unfortunately. And so have we, though, as we come down into Belvedere, braking as late as we possibly can. See if we can get him into the hairpin or into the twins. He's gone wide, extremely wide. Can we cut him back? No, we can't, but he is on the dirt, and he is, and he's just lost it on his own, so I didn't even need to do anything. Wow, okay. Wasn't expecting that, and here we are, cruising home, hopefully, with a massive gap behind us. So I don't know what the gap behind us is, but that was Jack Brabham retired, so couldn't restart the car. Wow, okay. So P2 for us, and I don't know how far P1 is, and I don't know how far P3 is, but we'll come into the last bit of the twins and head down towards Grave Noir for the final time. So should be a nice chill lap here now that we've cleared out from all the traffic. Computer extremely laggy this race. I don't really know why that is, but see if I can iron out before the next one. As we come through the right-hander, first right-hander and the second right-hander. Probably my second favourite complex corner. That one is just phenomenal to drive when you get it right. It's so fast. We'll come up the hill for the final time. And now we've got no cars in our way. We're not chasing anyone. We'll see what we can do. Really press as much of the track as we can. And just flat-foot it all the way up to Farm Bend. So, too much flat foot. Nearly losing it. Okay, let's back off. We are comfortably in P2. We don't need to be doing that. So down to third. That's the crossroads to the town of Chambord or Champort. I don't know how to pronounce it. French is not my strong suit. But we'll come into the hairpin for Farm Bend for the last time. It's not really a hairpin. I suppose more of just a sharp left, and then quick right down towards Pond Corner for the final time. It looks like it is a P2 for sure. Definitely no cars behind, and cannot see a single car in front. I don't know how far the leader is away, but he was pretty much a straight. He had a straight on me, considering he crossed the line, and we were just coming through Thebes, so he's quite the distance away. But come around Marlborough hairpin, and only a few corners left now for that P2 that we are fought so hard for. It was a very good race, actually. It's taken me a long time to get this race set up and working with AI. They just were not cooperative at all, but they've been cooperative this race. Well, cooperative enough anyway to get a race in our hands with only 3 retirees. Come around the final corner once more, and that is P2 at my favourite French Grand Prix, Charade, or Clermont-Ferrand, as Richie Ginther is 16 seconds up the road in his Honda 272 something. I can't remember what they're called, but that's that one done. Another race done. So Richie Ginther out first, me, Jack, and then Henry Solo in third. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.